A cold breeze swept through the dimly lit alley as Aiden tightened his grip on the worn-out backpack slung over his shoulder. His heart pounded like a drum in his chest. Today was the day. He had to face his greatest fear. For as long as he could remember, Aiden had been terrified of speaking in public. The mere thought of standing in front of a crowd made his hands tremble and his throat dry up. His father, a man of few words but immense wisdom, had always told him, "Son, fear only has the power you give it." But Aiden never believed that. Until now. His mother had spent weeks in the hospital, battling illness, and the medical bills had piled up. When his teacher announced a public speaking competition with a cash prize, Aiden knew he had to enter, but fear whispered in his ear, reminding him of his past failures, of the time he froze during a class presentation, of the humiliation that followed. That night, Aiden sat beside his mother's hospital bed, watching her weak smile as she squeezed his hand. "You are braver than you think, my love," she whispered. "Do it for yourself. Do it for me." The next morning, Aiden stepped onto the stage, his knees shaking. Hundreds of eyes stared at him. The fear clawed at his chest, urging him to run. But then he remembered his father's words. Fear only has the power you give it. Taking a deep breath, he spoke. His voice wavered at first, but then something incredible happened. He saw his mother in his mind, smiling proudly, and his fear faded into the background. He spoke about struggle, about resilience, about love, the words flowing from his heart. When he finished, there was silence, and then thunderous applause. He had done it. He had risen above his fear. That evening, he placed the prize money in his mother's hands. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "I knew you could do it." And in that moment, Aiden realized, fear is not a wall, but a shadow. The moment you step into the light, it disappears.